Hello, CZ. My name is Stephen Moran, and I'm reaching out because I wanted to introduce myself and hopefully have my company included in your industry recovery initiative. Really excited to see that you are doing something like that. We need leaders like you in this marketplace. We were hit pretty hard with Luna, and again with FTX. I don't have to tell you, it's been a pretty difficult year. But we have built a one-of-a-kind exchange and NFT marketplace on the Binance Smart Chain. When I say one-of-a-kind, we are truly not a Me Too company. We're not like anything else you've ever seen out there. I think we're very, very unique in the marketplace. And we're positioned right now to really do some benefit and to really help a lot of other companies that are out there in the marketplace right now with what we've created. And we just actually kind of discovered some of the things that we can do just real recently with it. So I created this short video. I hope you'll take a look at this video. It shows you what we can do, how we can help the community. And I hope you like it, and we would certainly love to figure out how we can do some business with you. Thank you for taking the time. In today's video, I'm going to share 3 case studies for transforming communities into economies using TOAX. TOAX is short for the Token of Appreciation Exchange, is a cryptocurrency exchange and NFT marketplace. TOAX was created to transform communities like charities, nonprofits, and for-profit businesses into economies with a single button. We like to call it our smart button. Let me explain. Since the evolution of the internet, we've all been conditioned that if we want to purchase something, we go to the vendor's website, we click the Buy Now button, and make our purchase. But it doesn't work that way with crypto. At least it didn't until now. Our smart button was created so we can transform communities, charities, nonprofits, and for-profit businesses into economies with a single button. We'll do it by tokenizing communities. By putting our smart button on their website, allowing their customers to buy and sell their tokens directly from their website. This means there's no need to be listed on other exchanges just so your token can be found. If someone can find your website, they can buy and sell your tokens. We utilize smart contracts and share a percentage of the ongoing transaction fees generated from the sale of that community's tokens. By incentivizing communities with an immediate rebate of their transaction fees, they're able to take a long-term view of their project rather than worrying about the day-to-day price of their tokens. After the FTX debacle, it got me thinking about how we could deploy the technology that we created to help others in the industry create dependable long-term recurring revenue. And it made me finally realize the power of what we've created. I'd like to take you through 3 case studies that I believe can generate hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars for these companies using the technology that we've developed on the Binance Smart Chain. Case study number 1, transforming communities into economies using TOAX. We're going to be talking about the Solana token. This is how we use the smart button. The Solana token averages about $400 million a day in 24-hour trading volume. Here they did over $460 million. Now, I'm going to guess that Solana doesn't make a dime from any of that $460,579,978 in 24-hour trading volume that Solana created, right? They're not making a dime off that right now. And these numbers happen every day, over and over again, like clockwork. What do you think would happen if, using our technology, Solana were to put a button on their website so their customers could buy and sell Solana tokens directly from their website? Do you think they might get just 10% of that transaction volume over time? If they did, that would be about $46 million a day coming directly through their website, right? Our fee is 1%. 1% of $46 million equals $460,000 a day in transaction fees. We pay out 10 to 25% of our transaction fee via smart contracts, which would equal $46,000 to $115,000 a day, every day, which would equal $16,790,000 to $41,975,000 a year, every single year. It's not going to stop after a year. It will go on as long as there's transaction volume coming from their website. And if they do a good job of educating their community about the value of using their website to buy and sell their tokens, I think they could get a very high percentage of that 24-hour trading volume directly on their website. Now let's talk about case study number 2, transforming communities into economies using TOAX. Let's talk about the Tron token. Tron is currently the number 15 ranked token by market cap, doing just under $300 million in 24-hour trading volume. What do you think might happen if, using our technology, Tron decided to put a buy now button on the Tron website? What do you think would happen if Justin Sun asked his 3.4 million Twitter followers to from now on buy and sell Tron tokens on the Tron website? Over time, with that large of a Twitter following, I'm sure he'd get a very high percentage of 24-hour trading volume doing business on the Tron website. But let's say that they got only 10% of the daily trading volume trading on their website. 10% of 300 million is $30 million in daily trading volume. 1% of 30 million equals $300,000 in daily trading fees. We pay out 10 to 25% of our transaction fee via smart contracts, which would equal $30,000 to $75,000 a day, every single day, which would equal almost $11 million to roughly $27 million a year, every year, over and over again. It'll go on as long as there's transactional volume coming from their website. That kind of money would help with a lot of ongoing development, wouldn't it? And that's only 10%. Over time, I think you'd be able to get a lot higher number than that. I think you get most of it if you actually put your mind to it. Do you see where we're going here? This can be done with just about any token listed on CoinMarketCap. Now, let's talk about case study number 3, transforming communities into economies using TOAX. Let's talk about Twitter. I'm sure the idea of tokenizing Twitter isn't a new one for Elon Musk. He could raise zillions of dollars by tokenizing Twitter. But he could only make that money once selling the token for the first time. But if Elon were to use our technology and put our easy button on the Twitter website, he wouldn't need to be on any other exchanges, and we would capture all the daily transaction volume. And when Elon Musk talks, daily trading volume rocks. Dogecoin, which was started as a joke, has no utility and does nothing, averages more than $1 billion a day in daily trading volume. When Elon Musk bought Twitter and he mentioned Dogecoin, the trading volume went from $1 billion to $5 billion to an $11.8 billion in one day. If Elon were to tokenize Twitter, and if Twitter could do as much average daily trading volume as Dogecoin, so if Twitter were able to do average $1 billion in daily trading volume, 1% of $1 billion equals $10 million a day in transaction fees. If we split our fees equally, that means there would be $5 million a day going back to Twitter every day like clockwork. That would equal $1.825 billion a year. Have you ever thought about doing anything like this, Elon? I'd love to have a discussion with you about it if you're up to it. We're in a liquidity crunch, CZ, and we could really use your help. Everything we've developed is on the Binance Smart Chain network. This FTX fiasco has helped us realize that our technology can be used to help existing companies in ways we never imagined. I'm attaching another video behind this video to share the power of our Wheels token and show you why we believe Wheels will be one of the most valuable tokens on the market. CZ, I hope you find our project valuable enough so we can participate in the Industry Recovery Fund that you started. If I can answer any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I can be reached at 1-858-683-9608 by phone, message, or WhatsApp. My email is steve@toax.io. Thank you so much for your consideration. Hello everybody, my name is Stephen Moran, and on today's video I'm going to be talking about the Wheels token. But before we get started, as you're sitting there, I want you to fast forward in your mind to 6 months from today. And as you're sitting there 6 months from today, you pull out your phone and you look at your digital wallet and you notice tokens appearing and balances growing. And you remember that yesterday you looked at your phone and you saw tokens appearing and balances growing. And you smile knowing that tomorrow you'll see more tokens appearing and your balance growing. How can that happen with a token? Well, that's exactly what I'm here to explain to you today. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was the summer of 1991, and I was taking my 2 young children to my parents' house for a swim on a hot summer day. As we approached the front door, we heard my mom crying hysterically. I rushed in and my mom screamed, "What are we going to do?" My mom handed me a certified letter that said, "You've reached the maximum $1 million limit for Ken's medical insurance and will no longer be paying for any of his medical coverage going forward." Ken looked at me and said, "Steve, am I going to die?" Ken was on life support and needed nurses 24/7, 365, or he would die. When Ken was 10 years old, he was diagnosed with Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. The doctors told my parents the odds are that Ken will die before he turns 18 years old. But Ken was tough. Ken lived to be 45 years old, but he spent 23 years on life support, on a ventilator. For the first 12 years of their marriage, my parents had a pretty normal life with 2 healthy children. Once Ken was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy and confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life, one of the first things my parents had to do was build a ramp so they could get Ken in and out of the house. The insurance company doesn't pay for that, so my parents had to. Once got Ken in the house, they found out they needed at least his bedroom and bathroom door widened. Wider doors meant bigger doors, which cost more than standard doors. Insurance company didn't cover that, so my parents had to. Once they got Ken in the bathroom, they realized they would need to rebuild the shower and make it accessible for a wheelchair, or Ken would have to be carried in and out of the bathroom for the rest of his life. There's no way my mom could handle that. Then when Ken got pneumonia in 1984 and was put on life support, the insurance company told my parents that they would only pay for nursing for 16 hours a day. But Ken needed nursing 24 hours a day, so my mom had to get certified on the ventilator so she could cover as many 8-hour shifts as possible, just so my parents didn't have to pay for a nurse every single day. The additional expenses never ended. Once Ken was put on a ventilator, we needed to get a wheelchair-accessible van or Ken would never be able to leave the house. Over the course of 23 years that Ken was on a ventilator, we went through 5 wheelchair-accessible vans. Then we get to that day in the summer of 1991 when my mom got the letter from the insurance company saying the medical insurance had run out. So now, instead of having to pay for nurse 8 hours a day, we had to figure out how to pay for a nurse 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, or Ken would die. Ken was so tough, he went on to live another 18 years on a ventilator. My mom worked an unbelievable schedule, taking care of Ken day and night for 23 years while he was on a ventilator, until he died a couple months short of his 46th birthday. My mom took care of my brother just about every day until she was 68 years old, and she never got paid a dime for it. A mother's love is pretty special, isn't it? I saw firsthand what it was like growing up in a family with a child with special needs. I saw my parents struggle. Ultimately, it became too much for my dad to handle. He died at 59 years old from cirrhosis of the liver, which put even more pressure on my mom. My parents spent half their lives trying to raise money just to keep their son alive. Unfortunately, charities and nonprofits don't always get the money to the families that need it the most. They spend about 80% of their time raising money instead of serving their communities. For the last 30 years, there hasn't been a day gone by that I haven't thought there has to be a better way for charities to raise money so they can serve more families and do more good in their communities. I started consulting on blockchain projects in 2016, and I've been sucked into more crypto scams than I'd like to admit, looking for the next big thing in crypto. A couple years ago, after falling prey to what's known as a rug pull in crypto, I came across an autism token, and I read their white paper. And I discovered they were going to donate up to 5% of the funds they raised from the sale of their token to autism. 5%? That really made me mad. Another scam. But it got me thinking. So I reached out to my good friend Douglas Yates, who's a real tech whiz and has been consulting with companies in Silicon Valley for the last 25 years. And I told him Ken's story. I told Douglas, I want us to create a token to memorialize my brother Ken. And we have to give the token utility. Ken led such a difficult life that failure isn't an option. This token has to be successful. So we decided that we would take 20% of the daily gross profits from our TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace And we would pay that out daily via smart contracts in Wheels tokens to Wheels token holders in direct proportion to the amount of Wheels tokens that you own, encouraging Wheels token holders to hold on to their tokens. Because if you sold them, you wouldn't receive as many Wheels tokens tomorrow as you did today. But that wasn't enough. We wanted to do more to assure that the Wheels token will be successful. As a matter of fact, we've pledged 77% of the gross profit from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace to be paid out in Wheels tokens via smart contracts daily. 20% paid in Wheels to Wheels token holders. 20% of the daily gross profit from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace will be paid out in Wheels tokens daily via smart contracts to Wheels token holders in direct proportion to the amount of Wheels tokens that you own. 20% is paid out to operations and liquidity. 20% of the daily gross profit from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace will be paid out to the operations liquidity wallet in Wheels tokens. 10% is paid out to acquire customers. 10% of the daily gross profit will be put into a separate wallet and will be used to acquire new customers and implement the technology. The customers could be charities, nonprofits, foundations, or for-profit businesses. We will use this money to educate their communities about how they can use cryptocurrency and NFTs to transform their communities into economies. 10% will be paid as a rebate to customers. We will immediately rebate 10% of the transaction fee from TOAX to our customers via smart contracts. 2% of the gross profit will be paid out to TOAX NFTs. We wanted to make sure our NFT holders have real value. So we decided to share 2% of the gross profits from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace with all TOAX NFT owners, meaning each TOAX NFT receives an equal share of revenue. So if you own 100 TOAX NFTs, you receive 100 shares of TOAX NFT revenue. This would virtually assure that every TOAX NFT owner would be on their way to creating long-term residual income for themselves and their families. And 5% of the gross profit is paid to TOAX bonus NFTs. We wanted to make our TOAX NFTs even better. I told Douglas the number 1111 has always been very special to me. My oldest son, David, was born on 1111. Let's make 1111 of the TOAX NFTs bonus NFTs. And let's make the TOAX bonus NFTs visually identifiable with a bright gold wheelchair in the image. We'll add an additional 5% of the gross profit margin from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace. So 1111 bonus NFT owners will share in 5% of the gross profit. And 5% of the gross profit is paid in Wheels tokens to TOAX Diamond NFTs. The TOAX Diamond NFTs cost $100,000 each. There are 1,000 TOAX Diamond NFTs, and each TOAX Diamond NFT comes with 1 million Wheels tokens. The TOAX Diamond NFTs share in 5% of the gross profit from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace. This NFT is what we call an evolving NFT. It starts as a seedling, and as you recoup your investment, the tree grows to maturity and bears fruit. It's pretty cool, isn't it? And 5% is paid out in Wheels tokens to TOAX Platinum NFTs. The TOAX Platinum NFTs cost $1 million each. There are 111 TOAX Platinum NFTs. Each TOAX Platinum NFT comes with 10 million Wheels tokens, and each TOAX Platinum NFT shares in 5% of the gross profit from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace. With 77% of the gross profit from the TOAX exchange and NFT marketplace paid out daily in Wheels tokens, we believe the Wheels token will be one of the most valuable tokens on the blockchain. Do you remember when I opened and I asked you to imagine it was 6 months from today? And you were watching your wallet grow every day. That's your wallet. But it's also going to help your children and your grandchildren and their children. And it's going to help the charities. Learn more about Wheels Token at www.discoverwheels.com.